Today we are covering our Unit 12 from our class. It's Business English 1. It's titled as Competition, Winner Takes All. A business compete against each other to sell their product and to increase or define existing market share. When a company succeeds in creating a new market, competitors enter the industry, offering similar products but at a lower price to stop their customers from switching to alternative products. Business must maintain a competitive advantage. This can be achieved by differentiating the product or service, by having a lower cost of production, possibly through economies of scale, or by controlling the source of supply or the distribution network. Is different means. Okay, let's read it through the article from the Economist. Hip, find fashionable or trendy or يعني cool, nice. Unveil, reveal, disclose, ينشر أو يذيع أو يأتر. Cede, give up, abandon, يستسلم أو يتخلى عن. Dabble, get involved in as an amateur, يعني غير محترف يدخل في الحاجة. Peripherals with the printers, scanners and other devices used with the computer. Revered, respected and admired. Competitive advantage we're talking about, and we are talking about crunch time for Apple. We're talking about Apple company, of course, Steve Jobs in the picture. Apple's Steve Jobs is having another go at the mass market for computers. During the first week of the year, Steve Jobs, the chief executive of Apple Computer, manages to look like the hippest boss in his industry. Every January, he coolly stands aside while other industry bosses go to Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show. Then, in the second week, Mr. Jobs mounts a stage in San Francisco at Apple's Macworld conference. There, to O's and ahs, he unveils Apple's latest products, all inevitably stunning in their design, elegance, and user friendliness. But this week, Mr. Jobs went one step further. Encouraged by the runaway success of the iPod and profits that were up by 368% on the same quarter a year earlier, he announced what is, in effect, a new corporate strategy. Instead of settling for being a niche player selling beautiful but expensive computers, the firm is returning to contest the mass market that is long ago ceded to Microsoft, Dell, and others. That this challenge is even conceivable is due entirely to the iPod, which is going from strength to strength. The iPod's market share has grown from about one third to two thirds in the past years at the expense of cheaper flash players, of course. An Apple for everyone. Mr. Jobs wants to attack even that remaining third of the market, and this week he unveiled an Apple Flash player, the iPod Shuffle. For Mr. Jobs, who has never previously dabbled at the bottom of nor explicitly attempted to dominate any market, all this is unprecedented. Even though the iPod now outsells Apple's computers by volume, most of the firm's revenue still come from the computers. So Mr. Jobs still needs to fix Apple's long-standing problem in its core business. which is that its global market share in computers seems stuck at about 3%, using the iPod's success to convert mainstream, like Microsoft Windows computer user might be the way to do it. This is why Mr. Jobs also announced his most radical product, the Mac Mini, a fully fledged but tiny computer. The twist in Mr. Jobs' words is that it is BioDKM, or bring, this is as short for bring your own display keyboard and mouse. Buyers are expected to plug in whatever monitors and peripherals they have already. Leaving out these bits makes the Mac Mini Apple's first truly low cost computer, so that people who are thinking of switching will have to excuse, says Mr. Jobs. Mr. Jobs attend to cutting the price tag by leaving out the peripherals is a shrewd way of minimizing two risks. It's unlikely to cannibalize the sales and profit margins of Apple's more expensive models, and it is likely to snap many Windows users out of their inertia and into making the switch. This will help people or encourage people to switch, as long as you don't have to buy a new keyboard or no printer or whatever anything else, just the computer. Mr. Jobs hopes that as its seamlessly integrated range of products grow further, Apple will become the most revered brand in the digital home and in consumer electronics. This is why Mr. Jobs has opened 101 retail stores around the world. The locations handpicked by a former Gap manager. Gap is a design clothes warehouse or department store. It also helps that an ecosystem of accessories is blooming. The growth will continue further once Mercedes, Nissan, Volvo, and Ferrari have joined BMW and started to offer iPod controls in their steering wheels, as announced by Mr. Jobs this week. And it helps that Mr. Jobs, also the boss of Pixar, a hugely successful animated film studio, understands the world of entertainment better than probably any other boss in his industry. Apple leads the market for online music with iTunes, which works only with the iPod, while Microsoft is pushing a rival software format, Windows Media, in an attempt to make it the industry standard. Mr. Gates could come from behind once again. On the other hand, Mr. Jobs has been more circumspect this time around, designing iTunes to work with Windows, for instance, doing marketing deals for the iPod with Hewlett Packard (HP) and Motorola, and with this week's announcement, fighting off competition from lower cost rivals. It is too early to tell which of these two generals is still fighting the last war. Going back, this is done with this. Okay, let's get a small a little bit. We don't need to go through that then. Mm-hmm. Maybe compound nouns. Of course, it's Honda Motors. will make. These are tenses. So we're gonna it is important to deal with it appropriately before it causes further problem. Look at the following phrases which can be used when handling conflict. Can we set aside our differences? I can see what all this fuzz about. What are you views on? Are your views on this? I am sorry, but there is no point discussing this any further. I'm sure that won't be a problem. I know we don't see eye to eye on this, but let's keep things in perspective. These are sentences you could use when debating or negotiating in a conflict. Okay. Let's go read the dilemma about the cola comeback. Brief. Parley Limited is an independent company that produces and distributes soft drinks and sodas, including its best-selling Thumbs Up Cola on the market in India. Until recently, the company had been protected from outside competition by government regulations which prevented foreign competitors from entering the market. However, the government has now changed to a free market policy, and foreign companies are now able to set up plants and distribution networks inside the country. Parley is well aware of the power of the US giants, Pepsi and Coca Cola, but what can they do to protect their market? And Parley has been in the market in India, has been dominating the market في الشلة هم في السوق. Now الجفرمنت بدأت تفتح الأسواق أمام شركات أخرى, big companies, البيبسي كولا والكوكا كولا. What can Thumbs Up or this company, the Indian company, do to protect their markets? Write few ideas on what can the cola or the cola company in India do to protect their markets when these companies comes in, or right before these companies come in the market. We need a few ideas on this. Okay. What else we haven't discussed? Company has confirmed it might. No, we don't need to go tenses, like I said. We just covered the dilemma. I guess we need to go back just to the article. I need to cover something that we have missed real quick. Okay. Most radical product, not many, fully flushed out by tiny computers. I need you to tell me, yeah, of course, everybody knows Apple company and products. What is the difference between the iPod, IPOD, and the iPad, IPAD? And have you used any? And I guess that's it for the unit 12, which was titled as competition. If you, like I said, if you have any other question, contact me directly on Monday in the Zoom meeting, or you could post it at the e-learning portal of your own. Thank you very much and have a nice weekend.